Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news all right. Folks, buckle up because the NFL offseason is heating up in ways we haven't seen in a while. And the Washington Commanders are at the center of some serious speculation that could reshape their entire run game and overall roster strategy for the upcoming season. The buzz in league circles right now is about a blockbuster trade involving a future Hall of Famer, Derrick Henry. Yes, the tank of a running back who's been a dominant force in the NFL for years, potentially moving from the Baltimore Ravens to the Commanders. And get this, the deal would involve a second-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, a pretty significant asset that could bolster Washington's draft plans for years to come. Let's step back and unpack this a little because there's a lot to consider. First, the Ravens, sitting at a balanced 5-5 record, are reportedly willing to part ways with Derrick Henry, who's been a key part of their running attack. According to some reports, Baltimore is looking to free up cap space, around $12 million, and shift towards a more pass-heavy offense. It makes sense when you consider that the Ravens have been trending that way, especially with their young quarterback, Lamar Jackson, who's proven he can be a dynamic passer and runner, but could use a more versatile supporting cast. The idea behind trading Henry, who's 29 but still plays like a freight train, is to rebuild their offensive identity around speed and passing, even if it means sacrificing some of that old-school power in the backfield. Now, for the Commanders, this is a huge opportunity. Derrick Henry is not just any running back. He's a literal tank, a player who's accumulated over 10, 0 rushing yards in his career so far and remains one of the most physical runners in the league. His stats from 2025 are pretty impressive. In 10 games, he's carried the rock 166 times for 807 yards and scored 7 touchdowns. That averages out to about 80. 7 yards per game with nearly 5 yards per carry, which is elite in today's NFL where rushing efficiency is everything. He's also caught 11 passes for 74 yards, adding some versatility out of the backfield. On PFF, he boasts a rating of 88.7, which is fantastic, and he's broken 45 tackles so far this season, showing his ability to stay on his feet and churn out extra yards even when defenders are draped all over him. What makes this even more intriguing is the context of the Commanders' current rushing attack. They've been averaging around 40 yards per carry with their current running backs, which is decent but not exactly a game changer. With Derrick Henry, the projection is to add over 10 rushing yards, boosting the team's run game efficiency by about 15%. That's a significant upgrade, especially considering the NFL's evolving landscape where a balanced attack keeps defenses honest and opens up the playbook. The addition of Henry could turn Washington into a more formidable, ground-controlled offense, giving quarterback Sam Howell more options and keeping opposing defenses on their heels. From a strategic standpoint, this move could be a game changer. The Commanders have been building towards a more balanced offensive identity this season, and adding a player like Henry would put them right at the forefront of that evolution. It's about controlling the clock, wearing down defenses, and setting up big plays in the passing game. Plus, with the Ravens eager to shed some cap and rebuild with youth, the trade makes sense on both sides financially and strategically. The Ravens can focus on their pass-heavy offense, and the Commanders get a proven power back with the leadership to carry a team in crunch time. Now, let's talk about the broader implications. The odds for the Commanders to make a deep playoff run with Henry have skyrocketed. Bookmakers now give Washington a plus 4,500 shot to win the Super Bowl, up from plus 1,1000 earlier in the season. That's a huge jump for a team that's been quietly building momentum. Derrick Henry's presence on the field could add that missing piece, especially in late-game situations where his physical running style can grind out crucial yards and help control the tempo. Plus, with the current division as competitive as ever, establishing a dominant run game could be the key to leapfrogging rivals like the Dallas Cowboys or Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC East. This potential trade also signals a shift in the Commanders' long-term plans. Historically, the franchise has been looking to rebuild and rebrand itself as a serious playoff contender. Bringing in a veteran like Henry shows they're committed to competing now, but it also hints at a desire for stability and a physical identity that can carry them through the postseason. They're betting on Henry's experience, durability, and leadership to be the anchor of their offense for the next couple of seasons. His ability to run in contact and gain extra yards after contact is precisely what this team needs to become more unpredictable and tough to defend. Of course, there are skeptics. Some analysts point out that trading for a running back at this stage of his career might be a gamble, considering the wear and tear Henry has accumulated and the injury history that comes with age. Also, the Ravens are reportedly looking to move on from him as part of their rebuild, so the price might be right, but it's not without risk. Still, from the Commanders' perspective, the upside outweighs the potential downside. They're getting a proven star who can immediately impact their offense and make them more competitive in a crowded NFC playoff picture. And what about the future? Well, this could be the start of a new chapter for Washington. With Derrick Henry leading the backfield, the team might finally develop the kind of identity that makes them a playoff fixture year after year. He's the type of player who can carry a team through tough stretches, especially in the postseason, where physicality and control of the line of scrimmage are often the keys to victory. If this trade happens, it could act as a catalyst for a more aggressive, confident Washington team that's willing to push all in for a Super Bowl run. Meanwhile, the Ravens aren't just giving up on their running game, they're shifting gears. They're trying to rebuild a pass-oriented offense, leveraging their young quarterback and a talented receiving core. They're looking ahead to the future, and freeing up cap space now means they can target other pieces in the draft or free agency to complement Lamar Jackson. It's a strategic move, and while some fans might worry about losing Henry's power running, the Ravens are betting on their evolving offense to be more explosive and versatile. Looking at the big picture, this trade could have ripple effects across the league. Other teams are watching closely. Seeing how the Commanders leverage this move could influence other front offices to make bold moves in the offseason. It's a reminder that NFL rosters are always in flux, and the teams that make strategic, aggressive moves often find themselves in the spotlight come playoff time. For us, as Commanders fans, it's an exciting prospect. Imagine the roar of FedEx Field when Derrick Henry takes the field in burgundy and gold, pounding the ball and setting the tone for the entire game. In terms of the long-term outlook, this move might signal a shift in Washington's approach to building a championship team. They've been patient, developing their young talent and waiting for the right moment to strike. If they pull the trigger on adding Henry, it sends a clear message that they're ready to contend now, to make a push that could finally see them back in the postseason, fighting for a Super Bowl trophy. Of course, nothing is guaranteed in the NFL. Injuries, turnovers, game day execution, all these factors will influence whether this move pays off. But the potential is undeniable. With Derrick Henry, the Commanders could transform their offense into a nightmare for defenses, a team that can dictate the pace and impose their will. It's a bold move, but one that could pay dividends for years to come, especially if it sparks a winning culture that Washington has been working towards for quite some time. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think Derrick Henry is the missing piece that can finally push this team into serious playoff contention? Are you excited about the prospect of seeing him run behind that offensive line? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Washington Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. As we look ahead, this possible trade is just one piece of a much larger puzzle for the Commanders. They're undoubtedly aiming to build a team that's tough, disciplined, and capable of making a real run in the NFC. Adding Derrick Henry would not only boost their run game, but also send a message to the rest of the league that Washington is serious about contending. It's about setting the tone, establishing a physical identity, and giving their young quarterback, Sam Howell, the best chance to succeed by opening up the play action and keeping defenses honest. Fans are already buzzing about the potential impact. Imagine the offensive schemes they could develop with Henry at the core: more power runs, play action passes, and a no-nonsense attitude that can wear down even the best defenses in the league. It also helps balance the team's overall offense, which has been somewhat reliant on Howell's arm and the receiving core so far. With Henry, they'd have a true running threat that defenses can't ignore, which in turn opens up the entire field for explosive plays. From a team-building perspective, this move makes a lot of sense. The Commanders have been quietly assembling a solid roster, focusing on both offense and defense, but adding a star like Henry could be the final piece they need to punch their ticket to the playoffs. If they can integrate him effectively, they'll be a nightmare for defenses to handle, powerful, physical, and explosive all at once. In the end, it's about the vision. The Commanders are clearly making a statement that they're ready to push all in. Derrick Henry isn't just a running back. He's a symbol of toughness and resilience, traits that Washington has been cultivating since they returned to prominence. If this trade goes through, it could be the start of a new era for the Burgundy and Gold, one where they're not just competing, they're dominating. So to all the Commanders fans out there, keep your eyes peeled. The offseason is just getting started, and if this move happens, it'll be a game changer. The future looks bright, and with Henry in the backfield, Washington could be on its way to making some serious noise in the NFL once again. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's see how this story unfolds. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion means everything to us and to the future success of the team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news.